Yankees win a series at the Minnesota Twins, that's not the surprise. But the way they did it was, this was unlike other Yankee games and series this season. Very happy that they won 2 out of 3 at Minnesota. That's about as good as you can expect. The Yankees have always had the Twins number, but Minnesota's got a good team this year, and the Twins offense really spanked the Yankee starting pitching in a pretty big way, in a major way, I might even add, as Jameson Taillon only goes 4 innings. Nestor Cortez only goes, let's say, 4 1/3? Cortez ends up going, I believe it was 4 1/3. Yes, 4 1/3. And Garrett Cole, oh my God, he got absolutely blasted for 5 home runs. And he only went 2 1/3. But the bullpen really, that's the encouraging thing, is the bullpen, who I think has been shaky lately at times, was tremendous in this series, except for Clark Schmidt in game 2. And that game was basically, by the time he came in, kind of out of reach. But the bullpen was really, really tremendous in games 1 and 3. And also in games 1 and 3, the offense was awesome, as in both those games, they scored 10 runs each. So game 2, they got destroyed 8-1, and that was rare. The Yankees have not – it felt weird at the time too. The Yankees have not lost many games like that. That was their biggest margin of loss. And they, at no point in any game this season, had been trailing by, I think it was at least 6 runs. So that's kind of amazing. Like, not even at any point within a game. So that was the first time for that. But the Yankees with a really nice comeback in game 3 – totally unexpected, where you have Garrett Cole getting absolutely rocked and the likes of Aaron Hicks and Joey Gallo really coming through. Aaron Hicks was very, very good in this series. I mean, he's kind of a storyline. Only because, one of the main reasons being because he was a former Minnesota Twin. Like, I think Aaron Hicks is kind of the headliner. As far as, I've been so tough on him, and deservedly so, and my outlook on him has not changed. But Aaron Hicks, I think he deserves that recognition, especially because it was against the Minnesota Twins. He was a beast this series, offense and defense. He showed off a really good arm in game 2. And as far as watching these games, the games the Yankees won, like games 1 and 3, I wasn't quite as locked in on with the Rangers going on, but I tried my best and basically have a good feel for how everything went down. But for the Yanks, really, to now be 41 and 16, is it? That's pretty amazing. 41 and 16. That's a tremendous record. And it was the Yankees going up against Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela. Urshela had some moments in the series, although some negatives as well by the end of it. But he was pretty good. Sanchez didn't really do a whole lot. He didn't start the second game, but Gary didn't really do too much. But anyway, jumping right into it, the Yanks jump out to an early lead, and the pitching matchup was in their favor. Jameson Taillon versus Cole Sands, who's a young pitcher for the Twins, a rookie, and he did not fare too well against the Yanks. And as far as rest roulette was concerned, just what's interesting is, obviously you have your catcher between Trevino and Higgy. We know that, but Marlon Gonzalez and Matt Carpenter really don't play at all at this current stage. Sure, they'll get their random starts, but like Matt Carpenter, who's been pretty good, he can't crack his way into the lineup. So rest roulette saw Gleyber Torres sit in game 1. So game 1 would be a game in which Aaron Judge gets off to that quick start. 2-run homer for Judge, his 22nd homer of the season. And then with 1 out, Giancarlo Stanton hits his 12th homer. So the big boys, Judge and Stanton, are out to play early with a couple of homers. And then in the bottom of the first, it would be a sac fly by Max Kepler to make it 3-1. So a quick little response from the Twins, and they would continue to kind of push, but they never were able to quite tie it up. But they came close. In the bottom of the third, it's an RBI double by Jorge Polanco to make it 3-2. Bit of a misplay. I think this was a bit of a misplay by Joey Gallo in right, but anyway, it's 3-2. In the top of the fourth, a one-out single by Gallo, walk for LeMahieu, and then an RBI single by Aaron Judge makes it 4-2. But it was a rough night for Tyone as the Twins are able to bounce back, and Palacios hits a sac fly, and that makes it 4-3. Earlier in the inning, Donaldson gets a ground ball by Gio. Donaldson probably should have just ate it and kept it. Instead, he tries to throw Gio out. Gio ends up at second. So, some definitely sloppy play. The Yankees had 3 errors in this game. This was a game where the defense was not sharp really whatsoever. But the Yankees respond back in the fifth and score thanks to a bases-loaded walk by LeMahieu, makes it 5-3. But then Jorge Polanco homers to start the fifth, makes it 5-4. Then a Max Kepler single, and Tyone's out. So really, Tyone couldn't even get in line for the win. But then Lucas Licky comes on, and Licky did a pretty good job in this series. Was a key contributor to the wins. Licky comes on, pitches a scoreless fifth, and in the sixth, it would be a combination of Licky and Wandy Peralta to finish off that sixth inning. And then in the seventh, the Yankees break it open, and the big blow was a 3-run homer by Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo makes it 8-4. It would be his 14th homer of the season. And Peralta pitches a scoreless seventh. Then in the eighth, it would be an RBI single by Trevino and an RBI single by Gallo to make it 10-4. And Ron Marinaccio comes on to pitch 2 scoreless innings in the eighth and ninth. So a good job at Marinaccio. And so Tyone struggles, but the Yankees really, DJ LeMahieu with a monster night, going 3-for-4 with 2 walks. So LeMahieu really getting it done. Judge, of course, with that 2-run homer, and he got an RBI single as well. So 3 RBIs for Judge, the 3-run homer for Rizzo. Hicks getting on 4 out of 5 plate appearances. So pretty good stuff. Joey Gallo, with a good night as well. So the Yanks, with a nice 10-4 victory. The offense really getting it done in a major way. So now we head to game 2. And Nestor Cortes, who really was cruising along in this one, you knew eventually he was, not going to get it done. And what's funny is even after this bad Cortes outing, his ERA is still under 2. It's still 1.96, even after allowing 4 runs in 4 1/3 innings. So it was Nestor Cortes versus Chris Archer. And Archer wasn't pretty, but he gets the win. He goes 5 innings, gives up 1 run. He didn't look great, but he was able to do what he had to. And so in this one, Russ Roulette fell on Joey Gallo. So Gallo sat this one. And this was scoreless and really hitless for a while until the bottom of the fourth, where it is an RBI single for Gio Urshela. So Gio, really at the plate was getting some things done against his former team. So Gio with the RBI single, Jose Miranda with an RBI single makes it 2-0. And then this is where Aaron Hicks it almost was worse. Kepler had what could have been an RBI single, but Hicks with a monster throw from left field to nab Gio Urshela's former teammate. So Hicks showed off that good arm. It was a throwback type of series for Aaron Hicks. So it's 2-0. And the Yankees do score their run in the fifth. Thanks to a sac fly by DJ LeMahieu, makes it 2-1, but unfortunately Cortes just did not have it in the fifth. Ryan Jeffers homers, and then Byron Buxton makes it 4-1, and that would be all for Nestor Cortes. So really his worst start of the season, quite frankly. And then Clark Schmidt comes on, finishes off the fifth, but the sixth is a bit of a struggle as there's an RBI ground out by Max Kepler, an RBI double by Trevor Larnach, and that makes it 6-1. Then in the seventh, some more trouble by Clark Schmidt with a couple of walks. Manny Banuelos comes on and gives up those Clark Schmidt runs with an a 2-run single by Jose Miranda makes it 8-1. And the Yankees' offense was completely shut down. Banuelos pitches a scoreless eighth. The Yankees only end up with 5 hits, 2 of them by Aaron Hicks. So Hicks, with a good night, but really the rest of them not too good. So the Yankees get blown out for the first time really all season, what feels like. Maybe if I had to look back, there were, that's true, that second White Sox game. That's true. I guess it was 5-0. I guess that might have been a 5-0 final, if memory serves. I think it might have been. I just want to confirm that. That was a final score. It was Tim Anderson, the 3-run homer, and based on the stats that we're hearing, it kind of would make sense that would have been 5-0. So that was And that was a close game the whole way through until the very end. So that was like a scoreless game going in the eighth. So this Twins-Yankees game, this is the first one where it kind of felt like, like they lost pretty handily. And so we had to game 3. And Garrett Cole got absolutely just smacked around by the Minnesota Twins in a major way, but a gutsy comeback by the Yanks down 7-3. So the Yankees lineup, this was kind of a across-the-board effort for the Yanks. A lot of players contributing. I mean, all of the starters got hits except for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And really, Dylan Bundy did not pitch that well for the Twins. That was part of it, and the bullpen did not come through for Minnesota either. So in this one, Yankees get that first run, and rest roulette fell on, in this game, Giancarlo Stanton. So Stanton didn't play, and the Yankees still came back and won, which is pretty impressive. So Yankees score the first run. It's a sac fly by Josh Donaldson. But then in the first inning, the first 3 batters, Homer, Arise, Buxton, Correa, back-to-back-to-back off Garrett Cole. Completely unacceptable. You just can't have that happen. Of course, in kind of classic Garrett Cole fashion, he does strike out the side, but still. In the second, the Yankees tied up. It would be a 2-run homer by Joey Gallo, tied up at 3. But Garrett Cole, at a terrible job, gives up a 3-run homer to Byron Buxton. So Byron Buxton had himself quite the series. Homers again, makes it 6-3. And in the third, it would not stop there as Trevor Larnach makes it 7-3. And then a Gio double takes Cole out of the game. So Garrett Cole gets absolutely blasted. The Midwest has not done him well as he got destroyed. Not destroyed, but at Detroit was a struggle in a different way where he walked like at least 5. And then in this one, the home run ball. So, the Midwest has not done Garrett Cole too well. But Lucas Licky finishes off that third, and a really bad base running by Gio Urshela kind of, in some ways, turned the tide a little bit, where Urshela kind of doesn't touch third base as he tries to go back to second base on the out. And so that was kind of a bad job there by Gio. Helps the Yanks. He keeps it at 7-3. At the time, I'm not thinking much of it, but it does help. In the fifth, Joey Gallo homers again. And that would be all for Dylan Bundy. Then Cotton comes in, and DJ LeMahieu homers. So back-to-back homers for the Yanks makes it 7-5. Lucas Licky gets 2 more outs in the fifth. So a good job by Licky to keep it where it was. And then Castro comes on to strike out Urshela to end the fifth. In the sixth, the Yankees tie it up. Joe Smith comes on, and it's a 2-run homer by Aaron Hicks. His first homer as a lefty, and no doubt about it, shot. Good job by Aaron Hicks, tying it up at 7. The Yankees would have a chance to take the lead as Isaiah Kiner-Falefa ends up at third with no out, but Trevino grounds out. Gallo strikes out, which is still frustrating for me. That in that situation doesn't come through, and then LeMahieu grounds out. So it stays 7-7. And then Castro pitches a scoreless 6, does a good job there. And then at the top of the 7th, the Yankees take the lead. It would be Aaron Judge with leadoff double, then Anthony Rizzo with an RBI single. Unfortunately, he would be thrown out at second on that single. But the Yankees wouldn't stop there as Donaldson singles, steals second. Glaber reaches on a throwing error by Polanco, so it's first and third. And then Aaron Hicks with an RBI single. Aaron Hicks, this was by far his best series of the season in many ways, where he's coming through in big spots, and that's a big one right there, and it makes it 9-7. So in the bottom of, and I guess to finish it off, Joey Gallo had a chance to, Stanton pinch hits, walks. Gallo has a chance to break it open and doesn't as he strikes out at 9, and it stays 9-7. Wandy Peralta, who's been kind of underrated, pitches a 1-2-3 7th. Wandy's been very good. And that Wandy Peralta for Mike Tauchman trade early last season continues to look good. So in the 8th, the Yankees find themselves in a bases loaded 2-out situation, a 2-out rally as well. And while Aaron Hicks is up, there's a wild pitch. Anthony Rizzo scores, makes it 10-7. Michael King comes on, pitches a 1-2-3 and with 2 strikeouts, and then Clay Holmes, his 27th straight scoreless inning, as he pitches 1-2-3 with the strikeout. Clay Holmes drops his ERA to a microscopic 0.33. He gave up a 1-earned run the first game of the season, opening day against Boston, and has followed up with 27 straight scoreless innings. He is just ridiculous. And so the Yankees win the series. They're 41-16, and now they will head back home to take on the Chicago Cubs. I am likely to be in attendance for the first game. This was my first Yankee game of the season. Assuming I go, I believe I'll be there, and so that's pretty exciting. I'll see Luis Severino. They have not listed the starting for the Cubs, but I believe it should be Marcus Stroman. So that should be interesting. The former Met, also the former Blue Jay. The Yankees have seen Marcus Stroman a lot over the years, specifically with his time in Toronto. So that should be kind of fun. And then, like I said, the Cubs haven't listed their starters yet. And Chicago is not very good. This is a series the Yankees should absolutely win. Game 2 will feature Jordan Montgomery. And then Game 3 will be Jameson Taillon looking to bounce back after a rough start at Minnesota. So for the Yanks here, I'm looking for at least taking 2 out of 3, 100% against a Cub team that, has fought hard. We'll see the return of Clint Frazier. Selfishly, I hope that he's in the lineup for that game Friday night against Severino. But if he's not, you'd certainly expect him in against the lefty Montgomery Saturday night. So Yanks-Cubs, Yanks are 41-16, another series win. I guess that's now, 8 wins in their last 9? 8 out of 9. Pretty good stuff. Winning in different ways. And so, all is well in Yankee land. And, they have a nice, healthy lead on the Rays and the Blue Jays. Certainly not insurmountable, but they're looking pretty good right now as we, are in towards the middle of June. So, Yankees win a pretty fun and wacky series at Minnesota. And now the Yankees will head back home to take on the Cubs and then the Tampa Bay Rays.